Seed is a fertilized or ripened ovule. Seed is characteristic of gymnosperms and angiosperms. Seed is a dormant structure containing protective coverings. Seed coats preserve food in embryo to end. Seed coat develops from integuments of ovule. The outer seed coat is called testa while the inner one is called tegmen. Seed coat is membranous, generally fused with fruit wall. The seed is attached to the fruit wall or pericarp by means of stalk called funicle. The point of attachment of the funicle to the body of mature seed is called hilum. The surface of seed possesses a fine pore at one end called micropyle. The micropyle permits the entry of water needed at the time of germination. Seeds are of two types: albuminous, endospermic seeds. In these seeds, food is stored in the endosperm. E.g., corn, wheat, onion etc. Exalbuminous non-endospermic seeds. They usually store reserve food material in cotyledons. In these seeds, the endosperm is used up and not present in mature seeds. E.g., bean, gram and pea. Structure of dicotyledonous seeds. A dicotyledonous seed contains seed coats, two cotyledons and an embryonal axis. The embryonal axis is attached to the cotyledons for absorbing nutrition from them. The embryonal axis consists of two ends, radicle and plumule. Radicle gives rise to root system and plumule gives rise to shoot system. The portion of the embryonal axis between the radicle and the point of attachment of the cotyledons is called hypocotyl, whereas the portion between the plumule and cotyledons is called epicotyl. Most of the dicotyledonous seeds are exalbuminous. A few dicotyledons like castor, bean have albuminous seeds. Their cotyledons are thin and papery. Structure of monocotyledonous seeds. Monocotyledonous seeds are endospermic, but some, as orchids, are non-endospermic. Maize grain shows structure of a typical monocotyledonous seed. In maize grain, the seed coat is fused with the pericarp. Major part of the grain is occupied by a large endosperm which is rich in starch. The endosperm has 1 to 3 layered peripheral protein layer, called a hyaline layer, which separates the embryo from endosperm. The embryo consists of a cotyledon and an embryonal axis. The cotyledon is also called scutellum in cereals. The lower end of the axis is called the radicle, which has a protective sheath termed coleorhiza. The upper part of the axis is called the plumule, which is covered by coleoptile. Dispersal of fruits and seed. The seeds falling directly under the mother plant have to germinate and develop under limited food supply and space. To overcome this problem, the fruits and seeds have developed several special devices for wide dispersal. The natural agents like wind, water, animals and even mechanism of dehiscence in some fruits, help the seeds and fruits to disperse from one place to another, and to long distances from the parent plant. Wind, anemochory. In the species where the seeds are light in weight or have some accessory part to help dissemination, are dispersed by the air current. The seeds of drumstick and cinchona, and fruits of yam, maple and sal tree, are having appendages in the form of thin, flat and membranous wings, which help them to float in the air and be carried away to long distances. In the members of Asteraceae, the calyx is modified into hair-like structures called pappus. They persist in fruit and open out like umbrella, helping the seeds to float in the air. In poppy and prickly poppy archman, the fruit dehisces and seeds are thrown out to a distances away from the parent plant. Sensor mechanism. The seeds of Calotropis, Alstonia and cotton are provided with hair and cover sufficient distances along with the wind. The seeds of orchids and some grasses are very small and light in weight and may be easily carried away by wind to far off places. In fruits of Physalis, swollen persistent calyx is present and fruit can easily be carried out by air. Some plant like Chenopodium, Amaranthus etc. are uprooted after drying and carried away by wind and seeds are dispersed distantly. These plants are known as tumbler weed. Water hydrochory. The fruit and seeds with specialized devices which may be in the form of spongy and fibrous outer walls as in coconut and spongy thalamus as in lotus, and small seeds with airy aril as in water lily, float very easily in water and are carried away to long distances with the water current. Animal zoochory. The fruit and seeds with hooks, spines, bristles, stiff hair, etc. get attached to the body of animals and are carried away by them to distant places. Fruits of xanthium and urina bear curved hooks. Spear grass has a bunch of stiff hair. Tribulus has sharp and rigid spines. Bohavia has sticky hair, which help their dispersal by animals. In Martinia, two curved hooks are present. The edible fruits like guava, grape, fig, and plum are dispersed by birds and even human beings by feeding on them and passing out undigested seeds with feces or by carrying them to other places for later feeding.